Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tanker Tuesday. This is Dan for Digital.Flash.Fire. Something different for you, the AMX 12T. Not only is it not a heavy tank, it's not a tank destroyer either. This is actually the French Tier 6 light tank. This cute little bastard has a 75mm auto-loading gun. The big difference between this and the guns you've been seeing is when you reload, you get 6 shots. So you've got about a 15-second reload time between clips, or 18 or 19 it looks like, and then it goes down to 2 shots between shells, which is really, really fun when you have an opportunity to pour a lot of damage in. Now, I've got a pretty standard equipment set. There are a lot of people that do other equipment in light tanks. At Tier 6, I'm probably not going to, but you'll notice I've got my improved ventilation, I've got a camo net, and I've got binos. Now, there are a lot of people that don't use binos on this. They actually use coated optics. I don't have those because they're expensive. I actually have given some consideration to gunline drive because this is a very offensive tank. It does have good view range with the binos. It actually sees out to 475. Honestly, I'd be at about 410 if I had coated optics, which would be more than enough. The commander isn't quite maxed out yet. We're still working on that. This is a really... Light tanks are a challenge for me. They are not the style of gameplay I like. They require a lot more patience. They require a lot more thinking ahead. For the tank itself, armor, it's a joke. It's a light tank. You'll see the occasional bounce. You'll notice the angling is really extreme. It's got an oscillating turret, and these are just famous for just generating ridiculous bounces. And you're going to be, with the mobility these have, you're going to be angled funny on the map so that you'll be taking hits from angles that, they give drivers nausea, if not nightmares. The whole tank is still a weak spot. The view range is amazing. The signal range is really good. Shell damage isn't. You saw that, it does really good damage in bursts, but it does not do really good damage to individual targets. Let's see, I didn't have this loadout for the first game I had, otherwise I would have done even more damage, which just would have been insane. But it's a very light tank. It does have very good top speed at 60. It's not brilliant. There are actually times it feels sluggish due to the way it drives. The engine, it's a Tier 6 tank that has, as the top engine, a Tier 5 engine. The tech tree for this thing is kind of interesting. You have the FCM 36, which I skipped because I had the old tech tree. AMX 38, which is... It's an interesting tank. You have the Duck, which is practically invincible. This thing has 70, 60, 60 armor, 70, 65, 40 hull. Yeah, it's at Tier 4, this thing makes Matildas look weak. The AMX ELC BIS, which the Cadillac of light tanks. Tiny little tank, really stupid fast. Just, oh my god, is that tank fast. This tank, which it leads into the French artillery. If you ever wonder, oh my god, where did all these AMX 13 F3s come from? You don't have to grind through a bunch of tanks to get there. This leads into the AMX 1375, which gets the same gun with a little bit better stats and gets a little more speed and just a little bit better mobility. It is an incremental upgrade, similar to the ARL going to the M445. And then you get the 1390, which gets a much better gun. And it also picks up much more mobility. It's a much less incremental And of course, there's a tier 8 light tank. It's the last light tank in the chain. Then you go to the Lorraine and the Bat Chat, or the AMX 30 and the 30B. Very fun. Very, these 4 tanks are, these two definitely, probably these two are some of the most fun tanks you get. And now let's see why. Welcome to Mines. This is a really old map. It's been tuned a couple of times, but never anything really dominating. You'll notice the really slow reload to start the battle, and I'm moving to support my team. Now, light tank gameplay is very different from heavy tank or tank destroyer. You want to find areas where you're out of the way. You don't necessarily want to be shooting your gun, but you want to be looking for opportunities. You want to be spotting enemies. Now, here I've got hard cover, and I've got a bush. And I spot a Jagdpanzer 4, trying to shoot at. And an SU-100Y. Now that's too tempting. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot, 5 shots, and he's done. And now I reload. Now, for those of you who don't know, you can hit C to reload. Once you've got that reload going, you definitely want to be out of the way. Now I am sitting back here, and you will notice the bushes are not transparent. That means that even if I shoot, the bushes will keep their camo value. And I can definitely see that Jagdpanzer when he pokes back out. So I'm going to sit here for a minute, and I'm going to give him the opportunity to come out to me. And he's damaged, and he's tracked, and he's dying, and he's dying, and he's dead. And just like that, I've got 2 kills, I've got 1,000 damage, and we are up 5-3. Basically, I'm the difference in this game. And I don't know what to do with myself. And I spot a Churchill, and I try to finish him off. There's a hit, and a miss, and a miss. This is not an accurate gun. Another miss. And a hit. He is so close to dead. And a miss. And now I'm reloading ACPR. And you'll notice that I've got a clip of HE. Do not do this to yourself, AMX 12T drivers. Oh. But I've got these 2 guys are spotted. And I bounce. And I bounce, and I track him, and I do damage, and he's finished off. Now I got spotting damage, and I got, I cannot remember what it's called, but I got credit for nearly all the damage the Black Prince took, and there's an SU-100, so I'm reloading HE, and that's not a bad tank to shoot HE at. There's a lot of weak spots that I can at least go for. What the heck? And hit him. Track him. And then I do, I've done very little damage. I'm just wasting shots here. Not going to do anything with these shots. And now I have 2 shots of AP, and I am out of ammo. That's the life of AMX 12Ts. You do not have prodigious stores of ammo. And that's it. Now, at the end of this game, I had a first class badge. I don't know what Ace Tanker is at, but oh my lord, how did that not get it? Spotter. I did a ton of spotting damage. Fire for effect, of course. I did more than double my damage. Bruiser. Crits and internal damage on most of the enemy tanks. 2002 spotting damage. I did 1,300 spotting damage to the Black Prince and another 676 spotting damage to the Churchill 7. Just a great, just a great game for me. Welcome to Lakeville. This is another older map. Again, it's a Tier 8 battle. The matchmaker was not particularly kind. In theory, I could have gotten some Tier 7s, but with this, you actually kind of want the you kind of want the higher tier. Now, this battle is extremely laney. You've got the canyon in the 1-2 line. You've got the lake road in the 4 line. You've got a third of the map unusable. And then you've got the city for the brawlers. Now, I'm just kind of trundling. We've got an awful panther taking up station in the middle. It's actually not a terrible tank, but everyone likes to call it the awful panther. They've seen some crazy results with it. So I'm going to plunk down here and just try to get some supporting spots on whatever they send down the middle. Spoilers, it's not a lot. So I'm just fidgeting, and don't actually do this. Don't ever fidget like this. This is how light tanks die. Now, also learn to drive. Light tanks light tanks should not be running into rocks. Okay, here we are going down the middle of this road, and this is something you only want to do once things have gotten going, because it is real easy to get insta-popped, especially in this tank. 600 hit points is not a lot, and it is roughly 90% ammo racks. What isn't ammo racks is tracks, and if you get tracked, you die. WZ-131, the French, or not French, yeah, French. The Chinese Tier 7 Light takes a hit. I lock on, and locking on is something you definitely want to do with light tanks. He hits me. I fire at him. I take some hits. I'm just going to empty the magazine, because I'm pretty sure he isn't moving. As if he was moving, I'd see him. As soon as my reload starts, I get moving. I finish repairing my tracks, and I get moving. Now, I waited to use my repair kit until I was ready to move, because I didn't want to use it and then burn my repair kit and then be immediately tracked again. And look at that firing line. I am just, hey, free artillery kill. I do believe I shall. Boom. He's on 6 hit points, and he's on 0 hit points. And then I get into cover. And I reload, because that was my last shot in that magazine. Now, I'm only showing 333 hit points. I'm behind their whole team. And then I dip down into this depression, and I can't get it out. This is soft ground, and this tank does not like soft ground. I can back up. There's a CDC coming and a Wolverine. Oh dear. I don't think we're getting out of this one, R2. Shoot the water tank. Now at this point, we're up 6-3. I have knocked out 2 of their tanks, and we get rammed and shoved back a long way. That was kind of painful. Our team easily won this one. And what this one showed, what made this one a really good game for me was I didn't get a lot of spotting damage on this one. Well, I got some. I got 135 on the Wolverine. I got 150 on the T-29, and I got 456 on the Nashorn. And I spotted 6 enemy tanks for the first time because I spotted their whole gun line. But I took their artillery out. They only had the 1 artillery. And I revealed just how weak their city position was, because they had all those guys backing up the valley. And I forced the CDC and the Nashorn, or not the Nashorn, the Wolverine, to come after me. Again, over 1,000 experience, over almost 750 damage due to me, 3 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 destroyed, 14 shots, 8 hits, 8 penetrations. In case you're wondering, that WZ I was blind shooting, I did 443 damage to, including the last shot. So yeah, it's just a fun little bit of light tank gameplay, something a little different for you guys, and a really fun couple of games. You know, I finished a couple of missions, and that is always a really good day when you are as bad at something as I am at light tanks. All right, folks, thank you for watching, and I will see you all Saturday. Have a good week.